Once upon a time, in a small town shrouded in darkness, there was a peculiar house nestled at the end of a long, winding road. Its windows were cracked and boarded up, its paint peeling, and an eerie silence lingered around it. Locals whispered tales of the house being haunted, warning others to steer clear after the clock struck 10. One fateful night, as the moon reached its zenith, a curious group of friends decided to test the validity of the haunting rumors. Sarah, Michael, and Lisa, fueled by adrenaline and youthful curiosity, gathered near the decrepit house, their hearts pounding in anticipation. With trembling hands, Sarah pushed open the creaking gate, and the friends stepped onto the overgrown path leading to the front door. The air grew thick, and a cold breeze sent shivers down their spines, as if the house itself was breathing. As they cautiously entered the dimly lit foyer, an oppressive silence engulfed them. The friends exchanged nervous glances, but their determination pushed them further into the house's abyss. The hallway stretched endlessly before them, lined with faded portraits of unknown faces that seemed to follow their every move. They ventured deeper into the house, guided by flickering candlelight and their own trepidation. The atmosphere grew increasingly unsettling, with each step echoing ominously on the aged floorboards. A low, guttural growl echoed from somewhere unseen, chilling them to their core. Heartbeats pounding in unison, they found themselves in a room filled with cracked mirrors, reflecting distorted images that seemed to writhe and contort. Shadows danced along the walls, taking on eerie shapes that toyed with their fragile sanity. The temperature plummeted, breath turning into icy vapor with each terrified exhalation. Suddenly, a raspy voice whispered in their ears, its source elusive and foreboding. The friends froze, their eyes darting frantically around the room. Unseen hands brushed against their skin, sending shudders down their spines. The whispers grew louder, blending with manic laughter that resonated through the walls. Unable to bear the torment any longer, they raced toward the exit. But the house had other plans. The door slammed shut, trapping them within its haunted confines. Panic consumed them as they desperately searched for an escape, their screams of terror echoing through the house's desolate halls. As the clock struck midnight, the house unleashed its full wrath. Objects levitated, shadows lunged, and an otherworldly presence gripped their souls. They were tormented by nightmarish visions and confronted by their deepest fears. The line between reality and horror blurred, pushing them to the edge of sanity. Finally, when all hope seemed lost, the clock struck dawn. The house released its grip, and the friends found themselves outside, battered and bruised, but alive. They vowed never to return, haunted by the memories of that night forever. The tale of the haunted house spread throughout the town, a cautionary reminder of the darkness lurking beyond the safety of daylight. From that night on, no one dared to challenge the rule. After 10 p.m., the cursed house claimed the souls of those who dared to venture into its realm. And it stood, a silent sentinel, waiting for the next foolhardy adventurer to stumble upon its unholy secrets. It was a moonless night, and the darkness enveloped the winding road as I drove along, the only source of light being my headlights cutting through the thick veil of night. The isolated stretch of road meandered through dense woods, with towering trees casting long, eerie shadows that seemed to dance and sway in the wind. An uneasy feeling crept up my spine, as if the very air around me held a mysterious presence. As I continued my journey, the silence was broken only by the faint hum of the engine and the occasional rustling of leaves in the wind. Suddenly, a dense fog began to roll in, seemingly appearing out of nowhere, reducing visibility to a mere few feet ahead. Uneasiness turned into fear as my heart quickened its pace, beating in sync with the uncertainty that filled the night. Through the thick fog, I caught a glimpse of something out of the corner of my eye. A faint figure, almost translucent, stood on the side of the road. I slammed on the brakes, my car screeching to a halt. As I strained my eyes to see through the mist, the figure grew clearer. taking the form of a young woman in a flowing white dress, her face pale and haunting. She beckoned to me, her hand outstretched, a plea for help. Her voice, barely a whisper, carried on the wind, pleading for assistance. My heart wavered between fear and compassion. Should I trust her? Or should I heed the warnings of countless tales of lost souls luring unsuspecting travelers to their doom? Curiosity mingled with trepidation, and against my better judgment, I stepped out of the car. The fog swallowed me whole as I walked towards the apparition. The closer I got, the colder the air became, and a chilling aura enveloped me. It felt as if unseen eyes were watching my every move, their gaze penetrating the depths of my soul. The ghostly woman spoke in fragmented whispers, her words a haunting melody that echoed in the silence of the night. She spoke of a tragic accident that had claimed her life, a life cut short in the very spot where she now stood. Her soul, tethered to this earthly realm, sought release, yearning for closure. Compelled by her tale of woe, I promised to help her find peace. She led me deeper into the woods, where the fog grew thicker, enveloping us in a swirling mist. The path ahead twisted and turned, as if we were caught in a never-ending labyrinth of shadows and whispers. Minutes turned into hours, and panic gnawed at the edges of my mind. Doubts consumed me, but I pressed on, my determination fueled by a mixture of fear and empathy. Suddenly, we arrived at a clearing, bathed in an ethereal glow. The ghostly woman pointed towards a moss-covered stone, barely visible among the undergrowth. With trembling hands, I brushed away the dirt and revealed an inscription. The woman's name was etched into the stone, a forgotten memory yearning to be remembered. As I whispered her name, a soft sigh escaped her lips, and a tranquil smile graced her ethereal features. In that moment, I felt a surge of peace and an overwhelming sense of gratitude. The fog lifted, revealing the familiar road I had left behind. The woman's spirit faded into the night, her voice carried away by the wind. I stood there, alone and trembling, forever changed by the encounter. It was a night I would never forget. A night where the line between the living and the dead blurred, and the boundaries of belief and skepticism merged into something far beyond comprehension.